Hello there, faithful people. I wanted to record this video about this really important thing in marketing. And if you're running your own business online and you're doing marketing, this is like super duper uber important. Okay, right. Cue intro music. Oh yeah, wait, I don't have any intro music. So we'll just go straight into the content. This is super important. So here's what it is, right? Here's what it is when you are marketing, and I see this time and time again, and look, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to put my hands up, I'm going to be honest, I've done this myself, right? I've done this whereby I have done this exact thing, and I see it over and over again, and this thing is a lack of consistency. If you are marketing, you want to grow your business, you want to do marketing and grow your business and get more clients and get more sales and impact more people and have a more profound impact in the world, you have to sell, right? You have to sell to grow your business. But here's the thing, how do you get people interested in you? There's a big differentiation here, right, between sales and marketing. Sales is what brings the money and marketing is what creates awareness. And that's really important to understand. You've got to create awareness before you can make a sale. Marketing doesn't actually sell, it creates awareness. We sell by having conversation, sales conversation, whether that's one-to-many, one-to-one, sales letter, whatever it is. But here's the thing, it's the consistency. And this really came to light for me a while back, and what I realized is I hadn't been being consistent. Now, there's a couple of reasons why you might not be consistent, and oftentimes is because you are comparing yourself to other people and what other people are doing and how they're doing it and how often they're doing it and how they're showing up, especially on social media. So here's what happens, right? Is you go on social media and you see like a social media expert person and they're posting like, Gary Vee. Take Gary Vee for example. I don't know how many pieces of content he has per day, but it's redonkulous, right? And we take this and go, right, I need to put loads of content out every single day. But what we don't do, and what we don't consider, and what we don't put into practice is who Gary Vee is, how he likes to act, and the team he's got behind him. He's got a massive team. I heard a video where he was talking about having, 6 members of staff full-time purely working on his content, none of the clients, just his content. So here's the thing, consistency is everything in marketing. But you've got to create the consistency that works for you. And it's not really, if you want to get high-paying clients, consistency isn't about being somebody who just messages every day, all the time, just about stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, you can do that, and it's not necessarily, unless it's useless, random stuff that doesn't make any difference to anybody's lives, which I'm sure you're not sending out anyway. As long as it's useful stuff, sending stuff out regularly is going to make a difference to your clients, and they're going to nudge them forward. But the reason consistency is so important is because most of your people who are going to buy in 6 months' time, in 12 months' time, in 2 years' time, or even those who are going to buy right now, they have been on a journey of getting to know you, like you, and trust you, and they are moving forward, they're edging forward, they're nudging forward. There's an element of nudge theory here, in that every piece of content you put out, the right people, if you see it, they nudge forward a little bit closer to you, a little bit closer to buying, a little bit closer to buying. And then, if you are consistent at the point at which they are ready to buy, not the point at which you want them to buy, but they are ready to buy, they see that they've got a problem that you can solve, and they remember your name because you are there in their face, and they have seen a post or an email or whatever from you. At that specific point in time, they need your help. They're going to go and buy from you at that point. But if you're not there when they're ready to buy, they ain't going to buy. And this came evident yesterday, actually. I met a friend yesterday to talk about business, and he wanted to talk to a number of different people. And the way he recalled talking to me, the way he remembered, I should talk to Vivian about this opportunity, this business, in this business that I'm in. The way he came up with my name was the fact that he saw me post on social. Now, we're good friends, and he would have got to my name anyway at some point going down his phone book, right? D is not very low down on the phone book, so he would have got there very quickly anyway. But he saw a post of mine, and then he invited me to come into his office, and we had a chat and all that kind of stuff. But that's the really important thing, is you've got to be consistent. You've got to be out there regularly. And here's another reason why. When you think about this, right, here's the reason why you have to be consistent. It's to build the know, like, and trust. We live in this world where people do not trust each other. They do not trust each other. And it's a shame, but it's the truth. And it's because people get hurt all the time. There are people out there scamming in business, people out there taking advantage of other people, and the people who get burnt very easily, very quickly, especially online. And what happens is people lose trust. And as a result of this lost trust, we have to work even harder to gain that trust. And how does that trust build? Think about anything you've ever bought, right? That's from a company. Anything you've bought from a company you've never met before. Right just before I did this, I was just having a phone call with a company that I googled, and there's some work that needs to be done in the property, some damp work that needs to be done in the property, and I've never come across this company before. But I rang them up and they seemed really honest, and then I've done some research this morning, had a conversation with them previously, asked them some questions this morning. I looked at some reviews, I looked at company's house to see who the directors are and how long they've been running and all that kind of stuff. I did loads of research. Why? Because people need to know, like, and trust you before they do business with you. But once they do business with you, assuming you deliver, they come back over and over again. But it's because we're all looking for safety. We are all looking for safety. Why is it that people go to their friends to ask them for advice when their friends might not be the most qualified person to give them advice, or their family? It's because they know, like, and trust them. It's because they know them so deeply, so well, that they know that they are not going to purposely do something to screw them over, right? They're not going to purposely do that. And that's the stage you need to get to. Now, it's difficult to get to that until someone's actually parted ways with their money, but to get them to a point where they're kind of ready to have that conversation with you, where they're happy with what they've seen so far, to then want to invest with you further. And people always invest in the proportion they're ready to invest in you, right? And that's different for everybody. That's different based on their level of pain, based on their relationship with you, and all that kind of stuff. But it's like the tortoise and the hare. Consistency always wins over trying to run really fast, right? Think about the long term. Plan for the long term. Have a long term goal. Of course, along the way, you're going to need, if you're starting out especially, or if you're you've only been in business for a while, there may be a need, or even if you have been in business for a while, sometimes there is a need to bring in quick cash, because that's the way business rolls. Is sometimes we need to take business in, do deals to take businesses sometimes to bridge a gap. But on the whole, you want to plan long term. You want to get long term clients. You want to get high ticket long-term clients, especially if you've got a course online, you've got a number of buyers, you want to switch to high-ticket coaching, high-ticket offers, not just coaching, offers. You want to think long-term about this, because these people will become your clients and they will stay for the long term. People who buy high-ticket, as long as you deliver, they're going to stay for a while, and your life is going to become a lot easier. But you need to be consistent at the beginning for them to build that level of trust in your ability, in what you have to offer, before they go, okay, now I'm willing to take that step and invest further with this person, with this company, with what they have to offer. It's all about consistency. How do you get that right? How do you get the consistency right for you? Well, here's the thing, right? Sit down and think about how many times a week can I realistically create content and post as a minimum. Now, I'm not saying you stick to the minimum, of course not. If you've got more content, put it out there. If you're 1 week, you've got more energy, put it out there. But create a minimum bar that I'm willing to, at a minimum, do this, okay? And stick to it. Every week, stick to it. It doesn't necessarily have to be at the same time every single week. I've done that before. It can work if you're a very logically brained person. If you're very logical, then at the same time can work for you. But if you're somebody who's a visionary, somebody who's the opposite of, somebody who's creative, then the same time every week might not work for you. And that's okay. You don't need to do it at the same time every week. It might just prove as something that's helpful for you if you are inclined to do things when they're scheduled into your diary. But take this and be consistent, right? Decide the number of days, number of times each week you are going to create content, and do it. Because by doing that, you are going to create that consistency that your audience needs to, whether that's in email, whether that's in social media, however that is, right? Whatever that looks like, you need to create that consistency to build them relationships for people to want to buy from you. And when you do, magic will happen. People will buy from you because they'll be like, this person's consistent. I believe them. I trust them. I feel safe around them. But the minute you get sporadic, people don't want to buy. And of course, we all have periods of time where sometimes we don't feel like it, and we do have to push through and make it happen. Which is why I know that if you're in a business you absolutely love, then you're going to do well, and you are going to you're going to be able to push through the moments where you don't want to do it. But consistency are everything. So take from this that one word, consistency. Create content consistently. Does it have to be short? Does it have to be long? It has to be as long as it needs to be to say what you want to say. Okay? Don't get caught up in length. Get caught up in value. Right? Am I adding the value I want to add? Am I saying what I need to say? Am I helping the people in the way I want to help them? If the answer is yes, great. If the answer is no, then change it. There's no right or wrong answer here. People can talk about length of content, and it gets all confusing. And you go, oh, I need longer content, shorter content. Yes, there is some theory that says that if you have this length content, it's good for this type of person. That length content is good for people at this stage. And you know what I say? Get consistent. Get consistent first, then worry about making your content better. But get consistent, because people will build that relationship. It's like the tortoise and the hare. The tortoise long term is always going to win because they're consistent. They're edging forward constantly, and they're not worrying about comparing themselves to somebody else going fast. Just do it consistently and you'll build something outstanding, amazing. And that's how you sell high ticket, is be consistent, because nobody's going to invest thousands of pounds or dollars in you unless they're sure that they're going to get a return, and they feel safe investing that, because that they need to feel safe. And so look, be consistent, create content consistently, whether that's once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, every single day, twice a day, whatever works for you, you choose, but be consistent. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is still Divyam Mistry. I help digital course creators go from selling online courses to selling high ticket programs and packages and offers. I'm going to leave you with this. Be consistent. I'll see you on the next episode.